you. I'm really honored to be here at TEDxDIS. Actually, today speaking to a group of students and also the parents, and I'm here to share with you my topic, which is called the power of zero. And everyone, please bear with me because I have a little cold and my voice is like, gone last night, period. But today it kind of revived, so I think it's the power of zero. And as you know, the power of zero is something that's really powerful and meaningful to me in my life. And zero, how do I define it? Zero is something that I tell myself every day in the morning, is that you wake up and reset yourself. So what do you do when your iPhone goes dead or your iPhone is stuck in an image? You reset it to zero. You shut it, you close it. So every day, basically, you have to shut yourself at night and then wake up from a fresh sheet of paper. And that's resetting yourself, because with a clean sheet, basically you go out to the world and you learn with every experience and you absorb everything in the world. You learn to listen, you learn to absorb, and you learn to observe things around you. And this is how you gain the power from the universe. And zero, to me, my global experiences started from zero. And this zero means the age zero. My father was a foreign correspondent working for Central News Agency, and basically we have to relocate to a new country every 2 to 3 years. So moving to me is moving into a new country. Moving to me is moving to a new culture and learning new languages. Nowadays, a lot of parents worry about their child. If I move them to a new school, how are they going to adjust? If I move them to a new place, they have to adjust to a new environment. Is it going to be difficult? Is it going to be hard? But for me, moving to a new country and learning a new language is basically part of my life. It's just like eating meals, and I have to deal with it. Because my parents can help me, they are adjusting themselves too. So you can't go home and run to your mommy or daddy and say, Mom, I can't speak the language. What am I going to do? Mom's going to tell you, I can't speak the language either. So deal with it yourself. So this is basically my power is zero. You deal everything for yourself. But by dealing and solving problems by myself and facing the world and learning and absorbing and accepting the new cultures and languages actually helped me get where I am today. So that is the power of zero. And my life started, I was conceived, yes, basically conceived in Korea. And then we moved to Ethiopia. I see question marks, right? Yes, Africa, Ethiopia. Yes, I lived there for 3 years. And then later on, we moved to Japan. And I moved to United States and ended up having most of my education in the United States. But basically, in between, at age 10, my father dropped me out of school, took me out of school, and we traveled in Europe for 3 months. And people say, is your parents crazy, taking you out of school and traveling for 3 months? But I tell you, that is the best learning environment that I ever had. And basically through travel and traveling through Europe, I learned history about Europe. I learned about the Baroque, the beaches, the flying beaches on the churches, and architects are really live in front of me. So these are things that you have to open up your history textbook and start memorizing everything. But when you're there live traveling, this is something, it imprints into your head. Well, I know a lot of the students, what are you thinking? I'm going to go home and tell my mom, buy me tickets to Europe, okay? I'm out of school. Okay, well, that was part of my experience because my dad had the luxury of taking us with him while he was traveling and working in Europe. Okay, that was my global experience. Here, just to prove that I was in Ethiopia. At age 2, a lot of people can see me sitting right here on my nanny's lap. And in the center is my mom and my brother, and our driver, and our housekeeper, and also our dear dog named Billy. This was in the garden of my Ethiopia home. And basically at that age, I had a lot of confusion and question mark in my head. What culture do I belong to? What nationality am I? But because I was raised by a nanny, Ethiopian nanny, so basically I thought I was Ethiopian. And my father and my dad actually played along. And they said that, yeah, we adopted you and, we scrubbed you so hard so you became Chinese. So at 2, I had this confusion, knowing that one day the only wish and goal I had was that I want to become Chinese, just like my parents and my brother. That was my birthday wish. Okay, that's at age 2. You might think it's funny, and when I look back, it's cute. But that is the process that I have to go through every day. Every day, growing up, living in different countries, I have to ask myself, what is my identity? What is the culture? What is the nationality? Why is people different from me? These are the questions that I have to deal with every day. And I look for solutions. And these are the power that I gain from zero. Because when I'm in Ethiopia, I dance with the locals. I go into their village. My nanny takes me on weekends, so I do some little Ethiopian dances. My father has some, photos and video clips. And when I'm in Japan, the first day of school, I attended kindergarten there. And my father actually told me that the first day of school, I made so many friends. And a lot of people might say, how did you do that? I don't speak Japanese, but I've, been with Japanese people. And we know that Japanese people always say, konnichiwa ne, have that little cutesy ending. So basically, the first day of school, all the kids were in one corner looking at me. That Chinese girl, she's so strange. She doesn't speak Japanese. Everyone was giggling on the one side, and I was the only person sitting there in my chair. But I walked to the group of people giggling towards me, and I walked up and say, how are you? My name is Ellen Chu Ne, and konnichiwa. That was the only 3 words I could speak. And the kids started laughing, and they started to hold my hand and start playing. This is how I blend in. You have to take initiative. You have to be the first one to go over and shake their hands. It's not how you are being accepted. You don't just sit there and wait for people to make friends with you. You have to be aggressive. So therefore, for me, living in Ethiopia, living in Japan, living in Korea, living maybe in Thailand or anywhere in the country, I always take the initiative of walking over and say, hello, how do you do? Oh, I should say hello to you. Hello, okay? Well, this is the way how you start blending in and making friends. Okay, so growing up in Western culture and also being raised in a traditional Chinese family, there are cultural clashes and things that you have to learn. So this is me in my LA home, and basically I learned piano, violin, and dance classes. And in the Western culture, we are taught to stand up, show the best side of yourself. So if you can play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star on your violin, when friends and family come over, you would say, you want to hear me play violin? And you would play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Yes, show off and be who you are and let the people see the best side of you. That is the Western culture. But at home, both my parents are very traditional. Even though we lived in different parts of the world, grow up in Western parts of the world, my parents are very traditional in Chinese way. See, we have that little fu stuck on the wall. That's my dad's work, okay? And we are told to be obedient and to be humble. Please don't show off when you're in school. Please be quiet and listen silently. Always listen to people. Don't speak up until people ask you. This is how we are taught at home. So, me and my brother, raised in a Western country, but we were taught in a very traditional culture, we had to find our ways to blend the two cultures. We had to find our ways to actually find out how to pick out the best part of each culture in order to make yourself to be able to survive outside the house and inside the home. So this was what I said. Travel made me understand facts of life. So traveling around the world actually gave me a lot of experiences. Standing in the European church, we see like different architectures, and just standing there, being next to a historical site makes you understand the local culture, also to be able to recognize the things that you read in books. And you can see different people around the world, which makes you understand we are very unique, and we have to keep the good parts of our own culture and also be able to accept the good parts of the other cultures. Okay, so 2016, this is this year, I was awarded outstanding alumni at Fuxing Private School. Maybe some of you guys, went there. Anybody? I see people giggling. Are you from Fuxing? Yes? Okay. So you know how tough that school is, right? So people say, wow, you want the Outstanding Alumni Award. That must be good. Yes, that is a mirage, okay? This is what you see. The reality is I worked so hard in Fuxing. My father took me back from the United States at 10 years old just for me to learn Chinese. And he put me into a 3rd grade level, which I started with 1, 2, 3. This is the 3 Chinese character I knew. And曲艾玲, my name. That is 6 character adding up. And nothing else. And I was put in level 3, grade 3. That was tough. Kids laughed at me. They look at me. They're like, hey, you're Chinese. How come you don't know Chinese? They make fun of you. They bully you. And the teacher's like, I can't teach her. I remember my teacher, seeing the principal walking, by the window. She ran out crying. Can you please take Ellen Chu out of my classroom? I can't teach her. She's destroying my whole class. Yes, these are the things I had to face in the classroom. But it didn't break me. It didn't make me give up myself. I was the best student in my class when I was in the United States. I was put into like a talented student class, in my elementary school. I had straight A's. I was very active in all kinds of events. But coming back to Fuxing, I was actually dropped down to 0. I have to start everything from basic. So in order for people to see who I really am, because I had kids calling me, I think you're dumb. I think you're stupid. That's why you don't know Chinese. They come up to my face and say that to me. And people tell me, you should cut your hair. I think all your brain power is absorbed by your long hair. I went home and told my mom, said, can you cut my hair for me, please? Because someone said, everything was sucked up by my hair. But, I went home and thought about it. And I told myself, the only way I can show them that they're wrong is that I work harder. So earlier we were watching this TEDx film about education. The speaker mentioned about perseverance, working hard. Yes, grit. Grit is what I learned from Fuxing. Grit is what I found out, that perseverance and hard working actually pays off, okay? The mentality, the psychology is so important. I mean, there's 2 ways that I can go through. One is giving up myself and say, hey, they think I'm done. Okay, I'm dumb. Okay, that's it. I'm not learning anymore. I'm giving up. But I took the other route. The route is working hard. And also, I study every night from after school, which is like 4:30. I finished my early dinner, and I sat in front of the desk. My mom sitting next to me, I remember holding my hand, writing my homework with me, 1 stroke by stroke. And what time did my homework end? 3 a.m. And this kind of went through all the way till a year and a half. Every day. I had no childhood, I had no playtime, no TV, but just homework and working hard. But after a year and a half, I came from the bottom of the class, and I came out top 15. So perseverance and hard work actually pays off. People start respecting you. People see who you really are. You're not dumb. You're actually very smart. And, they see that you put so much effort into it, and this is what reality breaks through from the mirage. Okay, and so when I made my speech receiving this Outstanding Alumni Award, actually the first thing I went up to stage, I said, I was never the top student, but I was one of the bottom students in school. And today I'm here, so people who are not doing well in school, don't give up, because you have a chance standing on stage and actually receiving an award just like me. Okay, 18 years old, I was accidentally receiving to become Miss Asia of San Francisco. Yes, that was an accident because I never really signed up for it. My best friend in high school who went through pageants and pageants actually signed up this beauty pageant competition for me. She said, hey, let's spend 4 days together, participating in a pageant. We get to stay in a hotel, and you're going to be like besties, before we go off to college. I'm like, oh, yeah, let's do it. Okay, so basically at that time, I signed up and we spent 4 days and I spent a month practicing for my talent show, which is a dance performance. It was a lot of hard work. But what came out of it? I lost my friend. Because, she worked all her life for it and it only took me a month. And I didn't have any, I didn't have any ambition of winning the beauty pageant, but I won. And I was in shock. And my friend was in shock, and she was not my friend anymore. So beauty pageant to me actually is a nightmare, and I don't think I would ever let my kid participate in one. So, people say, this is so beautiful, glamorous, you have a crown, look, you go to all these parties and events, but the reality is, behind this, it's a painful experience, okay, a painful lesson. Okay, and after I graduated from University of California, Berkeley, actually I came back to Taiwan and I was going to work for a globally top management company, which is called McKinsey. And I turned down the offer and I chose to go to North Pole, which is my first location TV show for my Wonders of the World, a travel show that I did for 10 years. And North Pole, I found the reality. Does anybody here knows that where Eskimos live? What kind of houses do they live in? Anybody? You tell me. Where do Eskimos live? Igloos? Same idea, same thought I have. Everyone agree, right? Igloo, yes, perfect. You're a good student, right? No, when I went to this traditional village called Shishmaref, actually we found out they don't live in igloos. They live in wooden houses. Okay, so I asked them, why don't you live in igloos? And they're like, come on, we can build house. Why would we live in an igloo? Igloo is something they travel in. It's kind of like a tent when they go out hunting, where they cannot build houses, not, capable of like building up a house right away. It's a tent for them. So please, after you walk out of this room, tell everyone, Eskimos don't live in igloos. They live in houses just like us. My first salary was $15K. People are complaining about $20K nowadays. $15K, yes. My monthly rent was $10K. So basically, I have 5,000 NT to live on for a month. And at the end of the month, basically, if I had to feed myself, I usually buy a loaf of bread, white toast, to fill myself up. I didn't let my parents know because I know if I let them know, they would send money to me. But I told myself, I have to start from zero. This is what I chose, the career that I wanted to do, the passion where I have. So basically, I thought my job was paid $15K. But traveling around the world, this is Russia, and that was North Pole, it's worth $1 million, okay? Who at the age of 22 can be traveling around the world and getting paid? I went to the North Pole, I went to the South Pole, everywhere that people dreamed of, okay? And this is our filming program where we were traveling through Silk Road, Pakistan. And this is where I learned that traveling through this country, there's poverty, there's war, and there's natural catastrophe. People are facing this every day, but you can still see they have a smile on their face. So it made me bring myself back to zero again. I wake up every day telling myself I am the most fortunate person in this world. There's no war in Taiwan, and we are fed 3 meals a day, and we don't have to worry about the worst natural catastrophe like landslide, and you have to go to school and climb over the mountain. No, you don't. These are the things that people in Pakistan have to face every single day. 2013, I was awarded the Golden Bell Award for radio DJ. And basically, that was something that, I'm very honored. After working 21 years in TV and radio, this is the first award that I really received. But, I didn't think that I have put in so much hard work. People say I did. But, I felt like it was fun. The whole ride was a great experience. I learned so much from it. But I found out the key that brought me to this award is that I was passionate about my job. So all the hard work didn't feel hard at all. Okay? Yes. Berkeley graduates actually roll up their sleeves, clean and also clean toilets too, okay? I have a new job, basically, okay, to end up my speech. I have a new job, actually. I have to clean the office and also I mop the floor myself because I understand starting something from zero is very important. You have to do everything by yourself. And this is what I'm willing to do. Berkeley graduate, Berkeley certificate doesn't mean anything. I mean, Berkeley taught me is that you can do anything. Nothing is impossible, okay? Okay, so this is what you do. How do you blend in? You have to take the initiative, and also the power of zero is that zero is a circle. So every day you wake up, it's a cycle of life. So just tell yourself, I have to be humble, I have to listen, and I have to do everything from scratch. And basically, for people to jump high in order to succeed, you need to bend your knees, okay? In order to bend down, and you will leap high. So this is the power of zero. Nothing is too easy or hard. You're capable of anything as long as you have the willpower to do so. So the reality in mirage or versus mirage, people see you as a mirage. They only see the best part of you, what comes out of it. But you can break the mirage and let the people see the real you. And only you know who you really are. So at the end of the day, how to be successful is that you really have to know what you are. And how do you do that? Is bring yourself back to zero. Every day, you wake up, you tell yourself, I am beginning a new day. Everything is new to you. You just have to put in the effort to experience everything in life for today in order for you to succeed in the future. Thank you.